Loot Bet, online esports betting. Dota, CSGO, Overwatch, Hearthstone, and many more. Bet on tournament matches or in-game events while viewing them live. Deposit using money, bitcoins, or even skins. Join Loot Bet now. Use the code you see here when you deposit and grab your bonus.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the EU Qualifier for StarSeries. We are into our quarterfinals. We have got North facing off against Kinguin. There's one team I think most people will be expecting to win this, but definitely had some somewhat upsetting results as of recently, ones that may not have been expected. Obviously losing sort of alternate attacks in the qualifier for Brazil was something that I don't think many would have been expecting, but other than that, okay, they lost to Hellraisers, didn't manage to qualify for Pro League Finals in Dallas, which again was another sort of mistake that we wanted to make. Now today we'll see if they can get themselves further towards qualification. Obviously, I would say in terms of teams sort of, well, mainly for their brand, could be expecting to get through to those finals. I am looking at them as sort of the one that needs to be doing it. It's North, Kinguin, Heroic, AGO, Virtus Pro, Windigo, Imperial, and Godsend. Now, 2 teams will be making it through. There's an extra slot for EU. Obviously, on the other side of things, we've got Gambit facing off against Avangard, and I believe NRG have already qualified. So, definitely some differences there in terms of the caliber of teams. I think Gambit are the heavy favourites, but in this qualifier, I genuinely don't know. Like, I want to put North. I think a lot of people want to put VP in sort of that list, but I genuinely don't think that they'll be the 2 going through. I think at least one of them's going to be upset. I think Imperial have definitely shown that they're strong, but that Godsend versus Imperial game, I think it's just the battle of firepower. Heroic have obviously done a decent job at qualifying for stuff in the past, but with their current roster in absolute tatters, we'll see what happens with them a little bit later on. AGO, I saw another Polish team who have made leaps and bounds recently, making themselves through to Milan events as well. So I think it's definitely going to be an exciting qualifier, and although North are one of the teams that I think should be expecting to get through, I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. Either way, we are going to be kicking things off on Overpass, map 1, of course, of 3. Kinguin, which will be Train, and then if needed, the final map will be Mirage. So, yeah, definitely, I think that realistically, especially after what we've just sort of witnessed, like earlier with Kinguin only barely just able to beat Enjoy, I think you have to give this one over to North, but at the same time, Train definitely hasn't been one of their better maps, so I could quite easily see this going to 3, especially with Kinguin. I'm pretty sure that their team has just loved playing Train for quite a while now. It's one of their higher played maps, so yeah, I think same caster as yesterday, York. Either way, we've had a player drop from the server, Kirby just with a bug. But yeah, I think definitely when you sort of look at this this North roster, it has the makings, or it has the talent for a top team. Like, there's no doubt you've got players, well, pretty much every single player in this team, maybe excluding MSL, has been a star in another team. Like, you look at Kirby, he was meant to be, well, he was the star of Dignitas, and then was meant to be one of the stars of Astralis. Valde as well was definitely the star in Heroic. Again, moving into this sort of roster, was meant to be the star. AZ at a point was definitely the star of the sort of Dignitas roster, and Mertz in the Academy team as well was another one. So yeah, it's a team that's made up of potential star players and people who should be running the show, but so far we haven't seen anything of the sort. Either way, we are going into our pistol round. It's looking like the CT side have set up for more of a retake over towards this B side, and that's exactly what they're going to get. Interestingly, though, they don't have a kit, so they're going to have to move very quickly indeed. Already, though, AZ from above will be tapping shots down, and, ooh, that's a nice fadeaway. Actually gets himself a second kill and makes this quite a bit easier. There's only 2 players remaining. Bomb's not even down, and all the CTs are here. There should be no way that Reitz and Rallen get out of this one. Double R to try and save them here, but realistically, I don't think it's going to happen. And, well, Rallen's at least got the high ground. It is May the 4th. Everybody should know that high ground is normally favourable, but he actually goes down to their level, and MSL will pop his head. North, 1-0. we go, though. East side, they've invested into this round. Taz actually going for a little bit of extra utility. I quite like this about this Kinguin team. They are fairly heavy when it comes to utility, much more willing. Invest into nades, and GT side, this is pretty much as passive as you can get. Interesting that we got 2 UMPs actually playing from heaven. Definitely won't help them with the range. In fact, I'd even favor the CZ at that sort of range, so I'm a little bit skeptical about this one. Obviously, MSL playing actually a little bit closer than them, so yeah, a little bit peculiar, but gonna have much of an effect anyway, as it seems like the majority going over towards a site. Now, is Mertz lagged out? He's not moving. Oh, no. He's there. I think he just clicked back into the game. That looks like he tabbed back into the game, because he threw that smoke as if he just clicked it. Either that, or he was very, very focused. However, I don't think that's the case. I think it's much more likely that... Either way, it makes absolutely no difference on the round, and with 30 seconds left, we're going to see the execution coming in from the T's. Already a couple of players here. Mertz is back at his PC, whatever happened, and Kyobi is going to find the opening pick. They're just looking to buy as much time as humanly possible, utility saved until this latter portion of the round. And there shouldn't be any way that Kinguin get away with this now. Everybody here, no chance for one plant, and great shutdown from Valde as well. 2-0, North making themselves some extra cash. Now the T's, well, they can't really afford to invest anything. Singular flash for Taz, maybe just pop them into B. Definitely wouldn't be the worst case scenario, just to try and get themselves a bomb plant. Try and just overwhelm somebody, but actually... Flash into mid instead. Pretty much the same strategy, but... Well, there's plenty of players there. MSL is just going to dunk Maniz out of the round. I think I have to say, I'm happy to see Maniz on a sort of better roster. Like, I definitely think that there's a lot from this guy. I think that this is more of a sort of like, I don't want to say a team of rejects, but that's what it feels like. Like, you've got Taz, who obviously was removed from Virtus Pro, Maniz, who was originally in Kinguin and then removed from Kinguin. I think Reitz was also in Pride, and then you got Ralan, who again was in the sort of old Kinguin roster and just never really made any transition, so... Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what this team can do. I definitely think they've got a lot to learn from Taz as well, who is like the McDaddy of CS. So, definitely looking forward to seeing what they can do here. Either way, into our buy round. No real risks taken by the CTs, at least in terms of the buy, but early doors, they do actually lose themselves the first pick. They will be desperately looking to try and find some sort of trade, because although they've got some extra money, it's not so much in terms of a bonus round. We'll have his AWP, obviously someone who can definitely take over a match with this AWP, but I feel like he hasn't hit the heights. I've always sort of thought of him as a sort of big fish in a small pond. Once he joined the bigger fish, he hasn't really shown his stature. Yeah. Kind of quiet compared to the game. Okay. I can probably change that somewhere along the way. The way we are going to see the trade back. Side. Still looking to try and make their way over towards B. And that's actually where the AWP is sitting. AZ up close with the and Mertz is going to hit that first shot. Just looking to try and find the angle. Around the corner he goes. Still only manages one, but again, the clock is ticking. 20 seconds on the clock. I mean, he's actually gets the second entry. Now, rotation is in. Valde gets this kill. Well, I was going to say, surely the round is over, but 15 seconds left. Maniz fakes the plant. MSL rounds the corner, and Maniz with a killer round. Quad kill for him. Kinguin onto the board. Let's try balancing this a little bit. I've turned the in-game sound down a bit. You have to let me know if it's too much. Obviously, I know it's muted right now. There's going to be some top memer who's just going to be like, oh, there's no sound. Yeah, I know. CT side, though, this is the perfect chance for the reset. A little bit of money made off the back of the SMG, and the AWP will still lie in the hands of Mertz. Almost gets caught out. Does manage to fade back through the smoke, and the shots aren't quite going to catch him, but he has lost a teammate in the meantime, and Nation will now come in from Valde. Of course, this round is pretty crucial in terms of economy. Both teams with not too much to spare. Valde just going for the spot, and Mertz is now caught in a pretty horrific position, but luckily Valde is there to support him. Now, they should know that there's two players over towards A site. But look at this off angle from AZ. I've seen stuff like this used more and more. Catch them off with something that they pretty much won't pre-fire. Well, here we go. Push into the site. Let's see if they do catch him. Not spotted at all. He doesn't get any kills. Expected a little bit more there, but it doesn't matter. It's left on to reach 16 HP. Valde just going to be looking to try and push through the smoke, and Mertz is going with his pistol, knowing his opponent is low. It will be the complete switch around, as now Kinguin are left without any cash. Valde looking for an AK? No, he's got an AK. Maybe just more utility. Now the T's actually going to be taking an early tactical pause. I think it was mainly made based around the decision of whether or not they'd force into this one. It doesn't look like they're going to. Play with a few pistols, make sure they can get a buy into the next round. They get 1900 added in, which will allow them for something a little bit better. A big chance to make some cash over on that CT side. Still considered a CT-sided map on Mertz. He's not really the one that will be making any cash here. It's more the man MSL who has himself that SMG in hand. Mertz will at least be able to find one, but he's got to be careful he doesn't get overwhelmed. But here comes the cavalry. Kirby and co. Looking to shut this down. They have control of the bomb. Maniz is left. Just a P250, $300 investment. Not anything too impressive. Question is, can he take the gun away? Nope, never mind. Kirby will end up with the triple. Puts himself to the top of the board, 8-2. And now North. Well, they've built up a little bit of extra bonus money, but they're still going to want to take this round just to secure their strong CT start. In. Mertz looking for that early pick, and well, he can't find anything. AZ does, however, help him out, and there's a bit of a stack over towards this B side. The change of pace was expected. However, Mertz, well, that was a little bit audacious. Bag now, the round may even slide back into the opponent's hands, as MSL and Kirby are all that remains. There's one low player in the form of Taz. MSL's managed to sneak back in, but he can't do anything, and I feel like Mertz may have actually thrown this round away for his team. Taz will be spotted. Second in the form of Reeks as well. And now Kirby's given himself a chance. Looks over the top of the smoke. Just tries to find the bomb. He does have himself a kit. Trying to bait out the peek from Maniz, who hasn't been spotted at all over towards short. And he is playing this perfectly, but now misses the shot. Gives away his position, but it won't matter. This man is playing on form at the moment. 7-5. He tops the board. Now the CT side, well, with that extra save money, we'll have another buy, but it's still very close. And, well, the same can be said for Kinguin. So far, it's been 2 clutches out from Maniz that have gifted them rounds. The last time that happened, lost everything seconds later. Do now get to see that AWP into the hands of Maniz. As said, I think he definitely has the potential to be the star this team needs. He is an absolute beast, and has been for quite a while. Mertz. I'm waiting will find the opener. Reitz is not going to know what hit him. A little bit of a boost over the top. I quite like that. At a bed. I'm good, thank you. Kowski, I love you too. Obviously still quite a delay on the stream, so you'll get delayed responses if you type anything to me. But I'll do my best to read it. Abby in the corner. Now, if he throws the smoke here, they should know roughly where he is. They're actually going to check the angle. They are. Mouse is going to pre-fire it. Leaves Mertz. Support of AZ on the site. Again, they've got the right read, and AZ's going strong. Mertz needs to try and do something, and again, attempting to push through the smoke. He won't achieve anything. Left into the 1 versus 2, and Valde is actually going to go rotating back towards the B site. Does give him a bit more of a surprise factor, as they'll probably expect him to come in from the A main spot, but he doesn't have a kit, so I just don't think he's going to have time here. There may be one on the site for him to retrieve, which is something at least, but move very quickly just in case, and Taz is already well aware of his potential spot. Long rotation does not work at all. It's going to be 5-3, and now the CT side don't have the money to purchase. Oh, CT's just going to go very aggressive. Maniz with the firing range. How many is he going to get? Eventually miss one and get stinked up. Not going to risk losing any weaponry here, so we'll just fall back. He's still going strong. He's actually on for the ace right now, and he will get it. Eco ace for Maniz. Again, padding his stats, currently 13 and 5 in the server. But now the CTs can at least get themselves a buy. It's not going to have an AWP. That's the one thing that Maniz has in hand. They have more than the rest of his team combined. Got the same. Obviously the eco ace definitely helps, and look at this, they've got pushing into me. There's only one man here, it's AZ alone, and there's no kits for the CT side. This is a big problem. They went for a gamble push towards middle again, and again they've been caught, but unlike the pistol.
Bomb has been planted.
Don't have time, and while they've just been slaughtered. Only 2 players remaining, Mertz and Valde. Not anywhere near the action, and they're just going to have to save their weaponry. Problems definitely arising for North, as now a 5th round comes in for the T side, and that's a streak of 4. You have to think that maybe North might want to take a bit of a pause here. I do wonder if they're going to force into this next round, just based off the loss bonus. Valde picking up another kill, and be a bit careful here. Catch anybody with the flash. Of course I love you, Mitch. Gonna see a buy? No, just a few pistols. They're gonna make sure that they had the full buy going into the next round, but unless we see some heroics here. I always find saying the word heroics weird when you're casting another Danish team, because I feel like it's basically just, that's a great name. They constantly get shouted out for people playing well. I am definitely going to be interested to see them playing with Kroman and Freiburg later today. See if they can steal another win. Now, you have to look at the fact that AGO have never beaten Heroic. They're currently 8-0 against them. One game went to overtime. Other than that, it's all done in regulation. MSL. Perfect position with the CZ. Be careful he doesn't get pincered in from behind, but there's nobody there and he has support. Okay. A little bit aggressive. Beep. Managed to catch one. Still make this possible. Once again, it's back to B and back to basics. AZ is just getting overwhelmed most of the time. Even when he's getting a kill or two, the problem is he's the only one defending that B site. And once again, gonna have to be a retake here. Now, there's no kits. CTs may just want to keep their weaponry, in all honesty. I think they still feel like they can win this one, but we realize that's not to be. Now going to be the lead taken for Kinguin. Now you have to remember the pistol was won, and then they actually managed to win a sort of the round after the first buy. Sent the economy of Kinguin packing, but the fact is since then Kinguin have looked dominant. This isn't their map choice. They go on to Train, which I was sort of saying earlier that I think this could easily be a 3-map series, but that was assuming that North take Overpass. If Kinguin take Train, then, well, the Danes may not live for much longer. And well, you have to remember, there are 3 Polish teams currently in this qualifier. We got VP, AGO, and Kinguin. There's a very possible, very high chance, I'd even say, that we get a couple in the final. I think Virtus Pro and Wendigo will definitely be an interesting matchup, as Wendigo have definitely shown their form online. VP online is always a question mark, but the fact is, if Kinguin now beat North, our semi-final could be just AGO versus Kinguin, because I don't know what to expect from Heroic. They've got players missing. The hole that Snappy Yugi left. Let's see, can the CTs now do it with their big buy? Everything invested. They have the AWP, they have the weapons they saved from the previous round, and even a little bit of spare money as well. Mertz is even going to kick things off with the AWP, but he's very quickly traded out. Yerby. They have just been handed the bomb, and he's going to be rounded the corner. They don't check the angles at all. Yerby's just been allowed to do damage. And, well, now the CTs doing so much in terms of aggressive pushes now. Yerby even has the bomb. It will be Reeds to at least trade one back, and actually Reeds gets a second. This quickly changes into a doable situation for Kinguin. The problem is they don't have a whole lot of time, and they don't know where the remaining players are. And this position from AZ is just filth. To actually kill him is so difficult. Luckily for the T's, they're actually going to go towards Valde and Seb. But I say luckily, like, oh, luckily they're going towards arguably the star of this team. He's going to be ready and waiting, and he just finishes off both players. 6-6. Scoreline equalized. D-side, they've got so much money saved up. More aggression coming out from North. They have been punished early in some of these rounds. So they're just going to fall back fairly early in this one. Not take too many risks. trade, and Mert's still on the site doing work. Definitely looking like a strong contender this map. He's got to be careful, though, that he doesn't get overwhelmed. The quick flank will be coming in from Valde. Positioning from him. Actually, Maniz is going to take down Mertz. AZ is the only defense in this site, and he always seems to just be in the worst possible scenario, and Bralin gets the perfect timing to take down Valde as well. North maybe about to lose the economy battle again. AZ can't even just dodge the Molotov at the moment. He's just burnt his toes. I think he's a little bit angry about that one. Now, once again, North are going to be in a bit of trouble. Now, they'll get 1,400 back into this round. I mean, a few of the players can buy it, but I do wonder if it'll just be worth saving to make sure that they can get a buy for the last round of the half. I think there's a lot of interesting players who could actually go over to. If they have the money to get someone like Stown from Fragsters, I think that could be interesting. Obviously, NATO, like NATO Savix, his team seems to be dwindling. They've only got 3 players left now. A couple of Germans and him. Be an optimal sort of AWPer to bring into that team. I don't know. I think there's plenty of Danish talent. I just wonder if they will stick with what they've picked up. Obviously, Kroman, I think he was in no-reg, and he has definitely shown that he can have some standout performances. And obviously, Freiberg with the depth of experience alongside him. I'd be interested to know who will be AWPing in that team, though, if they do stick with those players. CT side will have themselves a buy into this one. Rifle save actually helping them out quite a bit, and they managed to get there's a fairly decent buy. E-side maybe even thinking that they've forced them onto eco because they've invested into a Mac 10. Definitely not ideal. BT's somewhat forced to play these more aggressive angles. The CZ definitely not going to help them in other portions of the map, but the T's, I think they are playing this as a bit of an anti-eco round, taking long control, looking for those ranged battles with the rifles versus the pistols. And although it may not be the right thing, they're actually going to get so much map control that now they can just go running into the site. Mertz is going to get completely overwhelmed by a Mac 10. And again, the CTs are going to be left in a retake with nobody on the site at all. This is somewhat ludicrous now that they've managed to, like, they did it so much with the B site. This time they have nobody on long, and just so much ground is able to be taken. The gambles from North in their positional play just don't seem to be working at all. And that's, oh, I thought that was actually mousing there. Sure, it's Maniz. Now, yeah, again, they're left in a position where they just have to try and save what they've got. They're only going to get 1900 into the next, and they pretty much lost everyone along the way anyway. Bralin will even execute MSL, and they're only going to have this one solitary rifle going into what will be the final round of the half. What a performance that we've seen from Kinguin, because you have to take away the fact that North managed to win the pistol, so that's 3 rounds, that's half their rounds already, and then they instantly reset them after just 1 round back, so that was 5-1 up. We're now looking at an 8-6 scoreline with now a 4 spy coming in from the CT side. It seems like Kinguin are just on point at the moment. We'll have to see if North are able to turn things around over on that T side. It's definitely possible, especially with weaker overpass teams, but so far, Kinguin have not looked like a weak overpass team. Mertz has managed to find the opening pick. Going Going to see a push back in. Quick trade, and well, it works out for the T's. They're going to turn this back into a 3 versus 3, and remember the weaponry already weak. MSL is going to be waiting a little bit closer with that CZ, and already just being held back by all the utility being expended. He's going to go aggressive, though, running into the smoke bomb, literally being planted in front of him, and I think he just took a tick off of the Molotov, but still, he won't be found. Eventually falls, and well, Taz closes this half. Many 17 and 6 in the end. Strong performance all round from Kinguin. All round could be enough to take them over the line here. We're going to have to witness a turnaround from North going into the T side of overpass. Again, definitely possible, but I think this is just disappointing from them. Especially when you have to consider that Kinguin just played a very long series versus NUO. Now, there's obviously 2 arguments. One, after that they should be fairly exhausted. It went to overtime in the final map. But at the same time, they did win. And they've just been playing Counter-Strike for a fair few hours. So their aim is going to be warmed up. They're going to be feeling good going into this series. So you could have arguments either side, but it definitely looks like the latter at the moment. Well, going to see a complete different strategy from the CTs here. A stack towards this B site, and already Mouse and Reitz have kicked things off with a double. The T's are going to have to try and turn this back. Easy with the pistol, looking for the man above, but can't quite find anything. And look at the flank. They're going to go all the way around the back. They're going to beat the T side. Slaughter happens over towards Monster. Reitz, oh, he's just not connecting the shots. Eventually, will execute one more, and Rarlan is going to finish the final kill. It will be 10 to 6 in favor of Kinguin. Pistol goes their way, and I feel like it's important that North win this force fight. Don't want to be going 12-6 down. Oh, but it doesn't get much better than that, does it? A double nade thrown in, finish you off before you even see anybody. However, okay, this is getting a little bit spicy. Mal's still looking to try and turn things back, but eventually he goes down as well. Taz is ready and waiting on the side of the FAMAS, and they don't check the truck. It's now left all onto Kirby. Rotation will be coming in from Reitz. Taz doesn't really need to take the fight here, and I think he knows that as well. And eventually, gonna get that frag. 11 to 6. Next round should be a freebie. Mert's already saving money to make sure he can get the AWP. This round is just going to be straight blocks. Nothing invested from the T side. All of not being IGL is weird for me. Like, I like the idea of changing things up if it's not working, but I feel like Cold being in-game lead is weird. Like, it's just... I don't know. I get that clearly he's got the work ethic to do it, but it just seems odd to me that he'll be one at the helm of the team. Maybe it will improve Fallen's performance, but he was always good at AWPing whenever he was in-game leading anyway, so I guess they're not just happy with the strategy, and, well, that eventually change. There we go, though. Bomb plant. That's not bad. If they get a bomb plant here, that's more than a success for North. Okay, they don't kill anyone on the CT side, build up their economy themselves, but this will definitely allow for quite a bit more in terms of utility, which I feel like SL will be able to utilize that fairly well. Yeah, that's the thing I'm sort of worried about, that if North don't manage to turn this map around, Train is definitely not a map where I'm going, yeah, you know what, that's a North hometown map. They love playing Train. It's something they enjoy. No, it's not a permaban. Obviously, that's cash, but it's definitely not a map that I would say they're good at. So, and Kinguin are more than happy to play Train. I'd say it's one of their better maps. Like, definitely struggled versus Annoy earlier in the day, but yeah, definitely an interesting prospect. CT side, again, heavy defense of this B site. That's where the majority of the T's are gathering up. They've got the read correct, at least. Gonna be that push coming in. Ready to double entry onto the site. Great work. But Taz is there. Man, look at him go! The Tasmanian Devil with the triple. The old dog still has some new tricks left in him. Can he do anything more? That's the question. Finally, they'll put Taz down, but it won't matter anyway. Rarland's there to close the round, and, well, people have definitely questioned Taz's fragging ability. He's looking pretty good today. 13 and 6. First buy round goes the way of the CT side, and, oh. Questions definitely starting to arise now about North. Gonna go with the force buy onto the pistols. Much more passive. I like this from Kinguin. I like when teams just sit back when they know that their opponents are not going to have too much invested into this round. Don't take too many risks. Oh, here we go. Going to be coming in. Pistol's actually getting fairly close now, and the smoke wall is being created already. MSL will be able to overwhelm one. Boys and trades are back, but not very many at that. It's just going to be 2 players left, and maybe this is where T's can make their stand. North will get themselves a bomb plant, retrieve all the weaponry, and by the looks of things, Kinguin have just decided, okay, you know what, we can buy into the next round. We can get everything we desire, have an AWP, even have 2 if we really wanted to. And they're just going to allow North to have this round, not look to fight back in the 4 versus 2. So, North making the pistols work. Weren't really investing too much into this round anyway, so they're going to get a huge bolster to their economy. Dust 2 is not being played in this qualifier. It is still Cobble, but at the main LAN event, at the end of this month, yeah, it is. The beginning of it is the end of this month. We will be switching to Dust 2. It would just be a little bit silly to switch midway through a qualifier. So, here we go. Crunch time. North would be able to scrape something together in the next round, but it wouldn't be too pretty, so they're going to have to try and make their stand here and now. Looking for a little bit of aggression. Again, they're going to try this nade strategy, but you can see Mertz is having absolutely none of it. Instantly extinguishes Molotov. Actually going to set up a rifle on the boost. Has firing off, so they're going to let him be the boost man. This round, well, you can see it's much more patient. They're expecting some level of aggression, and Nees is just going to be holding the angle. Not going to be thrown down to at least try and delay the push a little bit, but instead he'll be isolated and doesn't have much of a choice but to try and fall back towards the site. Meantime as well, we've got AZ just playing this lurk game over towards the B site, but by the looks of things, this is where the push will eventually be coming in. GTs are far more dedicated over towards the east side of the map. Flashbang, absolutely perfect. And the spray down from Reeds nets 3. Taz actually lurking in through the smoke. It will be back into a 3 versus 2 and only 40 seconds left. They're somewhat dedicated here. They need to make this push. Taz is going to be spotted by Valde. There is a flank coming in as well. Peek out from Rana, will find one, and there's Taz as well. Once again, shutting down the round. What a spray from Reeds. It looked like that round was dead to rights when the flashbang was thrown. But now 14 and 7 to Kinguin. Imagine this is a tactical pause. They lose this round. Well, $1,900 plus maybe a bomb plant. All they'll have. Naught for Mertz. A few pistols. A couple of AKs. Enough. Stop what has been a pretty decent half from Kinguin, to say the least. I'd say the first half, the streak towards the end, and, well, if you look, other than the initial 5 rounds, could have seen so many go the way almost in a row. What, 13 out of the last 15 have gone the way of Kinguin. Here we go, though. Mao's looking for some aggression. Already spots the players, and he's got Rarlan to support him. That is not the start that the T side wanted at all. Kirby at least manages to bring it back slightly. And the push coming in, they may be able to overwhelm Mao's. That's a second kill, and somehow now the round swings back into the favor of the T's. They got a few low players, though. Kirby stepping up massively in this round. Now the T's fall back. They know that there's going to have to be some level of aggression coming out from this CT side. As is in a very aggressive angle. A little bit of a fake being thrown in by Kirby. So low on health that sort of risk his life in order to try and win the round. This angle from Taz is just, it's unlikely to be checked. In fact, oh, he may have just missed the timing there. That could work in the favor of his opponents. In fact, he's going to spot out Kirby, but will he then realize they're behind him? He won't. And that leaves it all onto Reitz. He has been good so far. He finds the first. Valde is not spotted, and he's going to go running back towards the B site, at least be able to reset this engagement. It should be realized pretty quickly by Reitz that he is not here. We'll be able to rotate. Now, the one good thing about this CT side is there are very quick rotations, and Valde is more than worried that there's already a player onto the site. Reitz gonna know the bomb's planted. Spots out Valde as well, who's just trying to creep back. Flashbang allows him to cross as well. Reitz worried that he's still there. Doesn't actually know that he managed to fade back once the push comes in, and this will be a little bit of confusion for him. Tries to bait Valde in with the push, but the Molotov is going to buy Valde quite a bit of time. The kill needs to come in for Reitz, and he's playing Ring Around the Rose. He's baiting him back, but he gets the kill. I think he may just have enough time for the defusal as well. Another round comes in for Kinguin. That has got to be painful for North, because they were painfully close. But the fact is, Kinguin now take this 15-7. And again, it's not going to be a goodbye coming in from North. Here we go, though. The last-ditch effort. The rush towards the B site. They're just going to try and overwhelm their opponents, but there's a pop flash ready and waiting. Kirby, though, will find the entry. Taz is here with Mouse, but will be left alone. Back Daddy trying to close this, but he can't quite do it just yet. And he's actually trying to use the smoke, and he gets the kill as well. Now it's left all onto Mertz. He's got a couple of kills for himself here. Will be left into the 1 versus 2. Will be going down. Rarlan trying to find him with the smoke and does a little bit of damage. And it will be Miniz to close it. An absolutely dominating performance from Kinguin on map 1. 16-7 as they head into their map choice. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed, you can type !caster. That can take you to my Twitter. And we'll be back for map number 2, which is